let's get started. So, Umee is a cross-chain DeFi hub. Um, Basically, it's infrastructure for the future of open finance. So, a bit of background about myself. I'm the founder of the Umee protocol. Prior to this, I was head of strategy at Tendermint. So, Tendermint, the creators of the Cosmos blockchain, and there I focused on strategic investments as well as incubating many DeFi projects in the Cosmos ecosystem. So we provide grants and we just helped build out the ecosystem. One project that I brought that I was very happy with is the Gravity Dex, essentially building a Dex on the Cosmos Hub. And we spent a lot of time promoting IBC, which is a protocol for connecting between various fast finality networks. Prior to Cosmos, I was an early employee at Consensus, so helped the company grow from about a 30-person startup to a 1,200-person team in the early days. And we saw a lot of ups and downs in the ecosystem. Basically, it took a lot to build out protocols like MetaMask, Infura, and Truffle. And every experience there was a lesson for the broader startup ecosystem. Prior to crypto, I was a bond trader, so I traded mortgage-backed securities, which are a very negatively convex product, and they're very sensitive to interest rates. And so, what Umee is kind of a combination of all of those backgrounds. It takes a lot of concepts from the traditional bond world, and it combines it with things such as DeFi and Ethereum, as well as proof of stake protocols throughout the Cosmos ecosystem. So, what is the state of the current blockchain ecosystem right now? Right now, there is a lot of concentrated systematic risk. What this means is that certain blockchains, house most of the DeFi activity, and there's not enough diversification, and it's not able to maintain the right levels of decentralization throughout assets in the blockchain space. Also, capital is very isolated. What this means is that there's collectively, billions of dollars of value on other networks like the Cosmos of the world, Binance Chains, Polkadot, Solana, Polygon, and they're not necessarily able to talk to each other very well. There's a lack of clear capital efficiency between these networks. And what it does is it limits the use cases between these blockchain ecosystems. And also yields are very much detached. What this means is that, there's many types of yields in blockchain. There's proof of stake yields, there's DeFi yields, there's yield farming, there's liquidity mining, there's, many protocols with exorbitant amounts of APYs, but they're not necessarily able to talk to each other very well. And what this does is it prevents people from being able to understand the risk-return trade-offs and opportunity costs and benefits related to these yielding environments. So why a cross-chain DeFi hub? Why Umee? Umee combines proof-of-stake assets as well as the existing DeFi ecosystem. So what it does is it brings proof of stake to DeFi money Legos, allowing a cohesive environment. This also allows the ability of capital to exist between blockchains, essentially further incorporating more of this capital efficiency between blockchain networks. And the eventual goal of Umee is to be this universal blockchain world bank, essentially a hub for cross-chain products where it can act as a substrate or a universal platform for different assets to talk to each other. And the eventual goal is to design incentive structures beyond just pure speculation. Right now in crypto, there's a lot of short-term speculation related to these assets, but we envision that long-term investments are more optimal for things such as building out protocols and ensuring more development in this space. And so, with the Umee cross-chain DeFi hub, we hope to further allow these opportunities for more building and more developing of the ecosystem. I'm going to close the window real quick. Okay. So Umee is based on a few base components in the crypto ecosystem. So there are cross-chain interest rates, interchain leverage, as well as multi-chain staking. So I view these as the three main pillars upon which other protocols can be built upon. So I view the DeFi primitives that are being built at Umee as layer zero DeFi protocols or base layer DeFi protocols upon which other DeFi protocols in the ecosystem can use, reference, and build upon. And I'll further explain how this is a prevailing framework to use in the DeFi space. So I'll talk about cross-chain interest rates. In the traditional finance world, interest rates are one of the most important things in our lives, and yet they're not very well understood. The thing about rates is that they always tell a story, and they always give an indication or a picture of our financial and economic environment. For example, if a war starts, this affects rates. If there's global economic or political strife in the ecosystem, this also affects rates. And rates always tell a story about the perception of time and risk as it relates to a broader economic environment. Close to $500 trillion of value is determined and influenced by a lot of the base rates that exist in the traditional finance ecosystem. So what I'm suggesting with Umee is that we want to create a term structure of interest rates as they relate to crypto assets, essentially creating things such as a risk-free rate for crypto products, utilizing proof of stake as an inflation metric to determine further aspects of the time value of a crypto asset, and building things such as a cryptocurrency LIBOR, primitives that will allow us to better define different initial rate environments, and setting a base interest rates for the broader crypto ecosystem for other products to build upon. This involves things such as yield curves and eventually the concept of a staking curve, a curve that is based off the yields of proof of stake rates. And what we're doing is essentially we're defining the time basis. Like we're essentially encapsulating what it means to have a time value as it relates to crypto assets in terms of different things like inflation from proof of stake and other metrics used in this ecosystem. Interchain leverage is also a major component of this. So we extrapolate this idea from global finance. For example, if the United States government wanted to borrow money from, let's say, Japan, the United States government would issue bonds based on their full faith and credit to access Japanese markets. This same concept can actually be applied to crypto. Let's say we initially will be looking at leveraging assets on the Cosmos blockchain to borrow assets on the Ethereum blockchain. And by allowing this interchain leverage, you allow more interaction between blockchains. And this can also be further expounded upon to different DeFi protocols. Like let's say the Uniswap ecosystem wants to borrow assets from Yearn. Yearn wants to borrow assets from SushiSwap. SushiSwap wants to, access assets on Harvest, and it works cross-chain too. Harvest might want to access assets on Cosmos, Cosmos to Polkadot, Polkadot to Solana. These are all possibilities using some of these interchain leverage paradigms where you can have a cohesively connected ecosystem where different blockchains and different DeFi protocols can act as members of this global DeFi market. And the third pillar, multi-chain staking. So one of the key components of Umee is going to be something called the Umee Token. So the Umee Token represents a staked Cosmos asset Initially, this will be a staked Cosmos Atom, which is sent via the Cosmos Hub to the Umee Hub via IBC. Then Umee will use a combination of interchain accounts and other low-level protocols to delegate that atom back to Cosmos validators. The initial design looks at selecting validators based on governance. So let's say governance decides to put 33% onto Paradigm, 33% on Polychain, and then 33% on Coinbase. That would be the configuration of the Umee token as a staking derivative. What's also special is that this token will be bridged to Ethereum as an ERC20 token. And essentially, you're able to take an ERC20 token and have it exist on Ethereum and participate in DeFi money Legos. So we look at a world of staking derivatives where multiple timelines can be affiliated with these assets. Zero coupon bonds and stablecoin CDPs can be created using some of these native staking assets, and you're essentially able to create proof of stake swaps and new markets to determine some of the initial durations and some of the frequencies related to these proof of stake assets as they relate to DeFi protocols. So I'll touch upon some of the interoperability protocol architecture that we're working with. So we'll be using protocols like IBC. So IBC, as I mentioned earlier, is a module within the state machine of one blockchain that relays messages to a module within the state machine of another blockchain that acts as a transport authorization and ordering layer that separates out the application side from the low-level communication side of the protocol. The hope is that this is the standardized communication protocol between all fast finality networks. In layman's terms, this means that you can send a token from one fast finality network to another fast finality network and vice versa. So we actually proposed IBC to the Ethereum Foundation at DevCon in Osaka, and we talked about how IBC can be used as a cross-shard communication protocol for Ethereum 2.0. And we also expounded upon this at EthCC in Paris in 2020, right before COVID hit. Basically, we think that this protocol can tie many things together. Another important tool is PEGI, a two-way peg, which has been rebranded to Gravity Bridge. This essentially allows you to connect between a probabilistic finality blockchain like Ethereum with a fast finality blockchain like Cosmos. And what this actually looks like eventually is sort of an ETH 1.5, because the Cosmos ecosystem has already figured out a way to utilize a proof of stake validator set to facilitate moving something like a Cosmos Atom from Cosmos to Ethereum as an ERC20, and vice versa, sending ERC20s from the Ethereum network to Cosmos native tokens. And this ETH 1.5 type framework starts to look like what would you expect with sharded execution environment and rollups. A project that I like to just give a shout out to would be Connex. So I think Connex does a pretty great job of figuring out how to extrapolate some of these protocols like IBC and Gravity Bridge away from the users, so the users are able to mainly transfer their tokens. And so I'm looking forward to seeing developments in a lot of this space. So, one thing I like to mention is I like this quote from John Adler. He talks about, us living in a multi-chain world and there being, collaboration between different networks. So we're actively exploring things such as layer 2 scaling solutions, optimistic rollups and ZK rollups, alternative base layer protocols, as well as sidechain architecture as they relate to this space, because we think that, as we're developing this cross-chain DeFi hub, we're further exploring what are the different ways that we can interact with different protocols in the blockchain ecosystem. So I like to say a quick thank you to our investors. So we just closed a seed round. Polychain Capital was the lead. We got some great support from IDEO Collab, Coinbase Ventures, Alameda Research, BKCM, Tendermint, CMS Holdings, as well as Consensus. So I wanted to thank everyone. It's been wonderful having an opportunity to present here. We very much are looking forward to fulfilling the vision of building out this cross-chain DeFi hub and building more and more infrastructure to better decentralize and open source the capital markets, because we think that DeFi is a self-sovereign right for all users, and we want to put a lot of emphasis on building out these tools to allow further use cases across this ecosystem. So, want to thank everyone. Absolute pleasure presenting, and feel free to follow us on Twitter and feel free to ask any questions. Looking forward to more great things to come.
Hey, Brent. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing Umee, Brent. Let's see. Wonder if we have a few questions as well from anybody. Yeah, we can take like a question or two from the crowd. If anybody has any questions for Brent too, and about the cross-chain DeFi hub built on Cosmos. Let's see here. Both. Let's see both. Oh, okay, that's my question. Yeah, if anybody have questions, if not, we'll get rolling. I guess there's no. Yeah. Well, Brent, I guess I forgot to saw if you guys mentioned it there too. When are you guys launching, or is you guys still pre-launch right now?
Yeah, so still pre-launch. We're expecting to have a viable testnet by summer, and we're expecting mainnet end of Q3, early Q4 2021, and basically, we're just really heads down building this protocol. There's three main components: a Cosmos component, a two-way peg bridge component based on the Gravity bridge, as well as quite a bit of Ethereum smart contract work. So yeah, we're just actively building this out, and we'll have some updates real soon.
I guess, yeah, you're definitely getting interest from the DeFi Summit crowd here too. They're asking if you guys are doing like an IDO or pre-launch, pre-sale. I guess, like, yeah, people are getting excited.
Absolutely, we'll have more information about this in the near future. We're actively exploring many liquidity mining and network incentive mechanisms. Also, a cross-chain network incentive. So we intend to be working with many other protocols outside of Ethereum, and having those other protocols to be able to also access some of the network incentive mechanisms. So we want this protocol to be as widely accessed as possible. We want to allow the entire open source ecosystem to be able to access this, and we're planning to make this very multi-chain focused. So definitely be on the lookout. We'll have more updates in the coming future about this, and we're looking forward to sharing this, because we think that this can apply to a lot of different ecosystems.
That's great. Let's see here. Any other last questions here? Very impressive. Save me time. All right, awesome. Well, thanks again, Brent. We'll hopefully, as you guys have further updates, we'll get caught up with you and probably have you on another talk as you guys launch.
Absolutely, pleasure being here. It was an honor, and have a great conference.
All right, thank you.